It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
Hey, it's Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy. Now, a while back, I did a show on having a financial vision. Today, I'm going to help you refine that vision. And what is a vision? A vision is essentially some idea of what you want your life to look like or feel like at a future date. Now, most people who are self-made have visions all the time. Steve Jobs had a vision when it came to his iPhone and iPad devices. He wanted everybody in the world to have that. Bill Gates had a vision, a computer with Microsoft software all around the world on every desk, he used to say. Facebook, what was Facebook's vision? That Facebook be a part of everyday life for everyone on the planet. Visionaries are different than entrepreneurs. Visionaries generally see something in their mind's eye that other people don't see. Now, here's the good part. You are also a visionary. You can also see things for yourself that maybe your friends, family, or even your spouse don't see. And here's the best part, you could make them real. So let me talk to you and share some of my visions with you, and I'll point out where they have actually worked out and materialized. About 20 years ago, as many of you know, I was introduced to stock market trading and investing. I first tried real estate because I knew I wanted to do something with the extra money that I had. And I had seen late night TV infomercials and I thought, well, real estate, because that was the only thing that I knew. And I went out and got my first piece of real estate. The only problem with that is I am terrible at fixing almost anything in my house, right? I'm not good at plumbing. I'm not good at repairing. I don't know anything about roof repair. And let me tell you something, I really try. I'm very good at design. Like I'm really good with colors and lighting. And I know how to create a feeling or a mood in a room. I'm just not good at maintaining a house and the mechanics of that. So generally, when I'm at any of my houses and something needs to be repaired, I have a handyman or someone I call and I go, explain that to me. What is that? Now, I also happen to be one of those people that's not ashamed to admit that I don't know anything. And by the way, that will help you learn almost anything that you want to learn in life when you admit that I just don't know something. Because at least now you're open to getting new information into your brain and you stand a chance of learning how to function, in this case, in a house. So when there's something I don't understand, my typical phrase is, could you explain this to me like I'm 7? Because that way, if you just break it down in really simple terms, I stand a chance of getting an education on that particular topic. Well, I had a vision when I started trading and investing, which was I had a vision for my account and the amount of money that I wanted to earn on a regular basis. So a lot of people say, well, Tyrone, I want to earn $1 million. That's fine. But the problem is you're not in the habit. You know how I say in this podcast that wealth is nothing but a series of positive habits? Well, if you're not in the habit of, let's say, making $1,000 a month in trading, your brain can't handle $1 million. A, you don't have the money in your account to create it. But B, you're not in the habit of creating something small. If you want to be successful in life, one of the things that you have to get used to is mastering small things first and then growing to larger things. Let me say that again. If you want to be successful in life, you have to get really good at mastering something very small before you can master something big. So now I have a business, for example, where hundreds of people listen to me and attend my classes every single month. But when I first started teaching on the live classes, guess what? I had 17 people in the room. Why? Because when I first started teaching live classes, I was not ready for 300, 400 people in the room. I had to learn how to teach stock market trading and investing, how to tell stories, how to capture people's imagination. And I needed to do that with 17 people first before I moved to larger stages, as we say in the seminar business. So when I got to a stage where there was 350 people all there to listen to me as one of the speakers, I was totally comfortable. Why? I had built my way up to that. Now, let me say, when you're building your way up to something, that's where you want to get all of your mistakes out in the open. You see, when I walked on that stage and there was 300 people in the audience, I was comfortable because I had done enough public speaking at that point where even if something went wrong in front of 300 people, I knew how to handle it. So there's a low likelihood that you're going to go from $1,000 in your online trading account to $1 million a month. Probably not going to happen. And realistically, you wouldn't want it to happen that way because you want to make all of your mistakes as a trader with a smaller amount of money. Okay, so my vision was to have a bigger business where I was heard all over the world by people, and they could then learn the wealthy investor approach and profit from it big time. And many of you have, because many of you listen to the show. You are in my live classes. You're in the inner circle. Some of you are in the mentor program. Some of you are doing my group coaching program online. And it all starts with thewealthyinvestor.net because you probably took a free ebook at some point and you said, oh, I like this guy. I like his style. And you grew to the point where many of you listening are easily making $20,000 a month or more, and you're very comfortable with that. In fact, a lot of you are making $20,000 and you're like, why is this number so low, right? Okay, so one of the reasons that you're making $20,000 a month is because I progress you up. I never let someone skip a level in the program because although they think that they're ready, they just simply don't have the experience of what to do. Let's say, for example, when their favorite stock goes down and then when retracement happens, what they should do. So I keep you at a certain level and I graduate you there so that by the time you get to $20,000 a month, it's old hat, right? So my vision for my business was for people to learn my methodology, my approach, and be able to make $20,000 easily with ease. So how I built that business and how I progressed people in that business was part of my vision. So now the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast is heard all over the world, right? And I know because we get emails from all over the world. There are thousands of people learning this method, and there'll be tens of thousands of people learning this method within the next year and a half. Okay? So I'm very proud of that because my idea is for you to learn my method inside out and profit in your retirement account, in your cash account, and have financial freedom. So you see, I had a vision for myself first, then I have a vision for my class, my program, and then a vision for my students. And I go step by step by step by step. Notice I didn't start with 1 million people learning my program. That'll come in time, but I have to master the smaller version first before I get to the larger version. Well, in this episode, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about your vision. Now, whenever I talk to you about having a vision, that means the episode is not going to be very long. Why? The emphasis is on me giving you some knowledge bombs and you going out and quickly executing. After you listen to this episode, I want you to start your vision work immediately, or at least within 24 hours of hearing this particular episode. So let's talk about having a vision. There are 3 tools that I'm going to ask you to use. You can use all 3, you can use 1, or you can use just 2 of them. Whatever feels right to you, really good. All right, so the first one you may have heard about is called having a vision board. Having a vision board. Now, what is that? A vision board is usually something that you'll keep in your bedroom, maybe in your living room. But the problem is if you keep your vision board in your living room and people come over, you'll have to explain what's on your vision board and people will criticize you or give you judgment about that. And that's the last thing you want to hear is criticism or judgment when you're trying to develop your vision. So I suggest you keep this vision board. Some people do it in a notebook or a scrapbook. Now, here's what you're going to do. To keep a vision board, it's very simple. You're going to go through magazines that represent the lifestyle that you're interested in. Magazines like Forbes or Architectural Digest. And as you're going through these magazines, you're going to pull out images and pictures that represent your future life. Now, don't judge yourself here and say, this could never happen for me, because that's bad energy. That's negative energy. This is just an exercise to see how close you can get in the next couple of years to the life that you really want. And one of the ways that you can kind of literally pull or magnetize that life to you is by having visual representations of the life that you want. So a vision board, a scrapbook, a magazine where you have pictures of the lifestyle that you want represented in photographs, and you're going to look at those pictures at least once a day for the first 30 days. That seems a little obsessive for a lot of people, but what you're saying to your brain and to your mind is, I'd like this. I'm open to having this lifestyle so that it can flow to me easily. Now, you'll obviously use the stock market as a way of building the wealth, but let's at least get you focused on something visual. Okay? Now, what a lot of people do on a Sunday afternoon is they'll go to the newsstand, they'll pick out 5 magazines, and then they'll rip the pictures out. You can do it online, but there's nothing, pull up the pictures online, for example, but there's nothing like having the visual representations in your hands. So a vision board or a vision book is your first step. Your next step, which is what a lot of people like to do, is then write down the dollar amount that you'd like to earn each and every year. Your goal is going to be in the millions, especially if you're a big visionary. So you can write down, I'd like to receive $1 million a year from stock market trading, for example, which basically is going to equate to about $90,000 a month in trading profits. But see, if you start right out with the million, you've skipped maybe 4 or 5 steps in between. So you can say my long-term goal is $1 million, but I'd like to get to, just for right now, $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month in trading profits. Once you've achieved $1,000 a month in trading profits, then you can grow to $4,500, then $7,500, then $15,000, and on and on and on and on. But you see, if you don't start with one baby step, it's going to be hard to get to that larger vision. So do not put the cart before the horse. The next thing that you're going to do that's going to help you develop this vision is, I want you to think about your lifestyle. Now, when I was developing my vision, I started about 15, 16 years old. I knew I wanted money coming in, and I never had to leave my house. I had no idea how that was going to happen. And today I have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars coming in, and I never have to leave any of my homes in order to do that. And I'm always marveled by that, because I was like, remember when you were 17 and you had this vision and you wanted to try to do that? So the next part is your lifestyle. How much money do you want to have coming in? And do you want to work for that money? Now, I thought initially my vision was to never have to work and have hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in, and I could just stay home. And what has surprised me is, as I reach all of my visions, I actually discovered I like working. I like teaching. I like owning businesses. I just don't want to have to work for someone else. And I want to be able to designate my time throughout the day. How much time do I spend with this business? How much time do I spend with this business? How much time do I actually spend trading? Right? So I thought I hated working. As it turns out, I actually don't. And my staff can tell you that all the time, because I go, here's another project that we're going to do, right? So I actually enjoy working, and I enjoy teaching, I enjoy trading, and I enjoy buying businesses and making them successful. I just want to be able to do it on my time. And since I'm able to do that, I can design my lifestyle. So you see, your vision is about what you'd like to have, but the third element you want to add in there is, what does your lifestyle look like? What does your day look like? Again, for me, I thought I just wanted to be in a boat all day and sailing. That's boring after a while. But I do want to know that I can work from, let's say, 9 in the morning, be done by 12, and have the rest of the day to myself, right? So whatever your vision is, and here's where I'm here to support you, it is real. Do you realize whatever your vision is, the kind of home that you want to have, the kind of money that you want to make, and the kind of lifestyle that you want to live, do you realize someone is already doing it? Yes, although your vision is new to you, someone is living the exact same lifestyle with the exact same dollar amount, with the exact same homes and cars. That is already real. It is just your turn to do it. If you understand these 3 elements of having a vision, you are ready to go to work. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is another tool that will help your vision happen faster. And it has to do with people in your life. You see, when a lot of people are starting out building their vision, they don't want to talk to a lot of people, because most people you will introduce your vision to will be negative. And you have to get used to negative people. Negative people doubt everything, everyone, every opportunity around you. And if a person isn't overtly negative, they tend to either question or criticize life a lot. Now, I'm sure you know someone like that. Whenever you introduce something new, they will ask you a lot of questions, and then they will criticize. They will criticize the source in which the information came from, or they'll criticize the choice, and they'll discourage you from taking action. Now, what you have to know is anytime you have a vision that is outside of the norm, the first thing that's going to happen is the universe is going to test you on that vision by bringing you someone who criticizes it, knocks it, or tries to bring you down. And you have to get used to that as a successful people. All successful people have their visions criticized, no matter what stage you are. Millionaires and billionaires have their visions criticized all the time, and these are people who have made it. What they have learned is to not pay attention to the criticism. What I like to say is, I love it when people criticize my vision. That means I am doing something new that hasn't been done before, and that gives me fuel to push on. So when we have people who are negative and criticize us a lot, your job is to limit your exposure to them. You don't have to stop liking them. You don't have to stop loving them. You don't have to stop having them as a member of your family. You don't even have to stop being married to them. But you do need to limit your time and exposure. It's a wonderful saying that I want to pass on to you when it comes to vision, love, and happiness in life. And it goes like this: always go where it's warm. So I'm going to ask you to write down the top 5 people in your life who tend to criticize you or other people. Simultaneously, I'm going to ask you to write down the top people in your life who tend to support you when you come up with an idea or a venture. The people who support you will probably make you feel a little bit more warm inside. The people who criticize and deter you will probably frustrate you and make you a little bit more angry. So you want to limit your exposure to those people temporarily and increase your exposure to people who keep it warm. Now, I know because I've had the great opportunity to interact with many of you, you find that this podcast is a warm place to be. You enjoy listening to me, our guests, my students, and people who have changed their lives. Well, then that means that the Wealthy Investor podcast is a place where you want to spend more of your time. Some of you, if you're going to be successful in the stock market, you need to come to a live class with other people who are trading and investing like you. Why? Because it's warm. There are people who share your thoughts, your ideas, and a similar vision. Some of you can get that from one of my online programs. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to get you to spend money with me. That's not what it's all about. But it's all about me helping you move your life forward in the direction that you say that you want. So therefore, you have to be aware of who is sending you negative messages, because those people are keeping you small in your life. And you are not meant to live a life that is small. You are meant to live a life of financial freedom that is expanding. I can also tell you that you are not meant to live a life of financial struggle and lack unless that's something that you choose. You are meant to live a life that is 10 times bigger than the life that you're living financially right now. And guess what? Other people are living that life. Now it is your turn. So, to sum up this episode, you now have tools that you can use for creating a vision. Give it the time that it deserves. Treat your vision like it's important. Treat your vision like it can actually happen, and you will love, love, love the results. So make sure that you get your vision board started. Make sure that you decide what dollar amount that you want to earn ultimately and what amount you'd like to start with, because you can't put the cart before the horse and be successful. And what would your lifestyle look like day to day to day? Now, to accomplish this vision, I really want you to use your imagination. Really spend some time in your imagination here. And you'll find that if you're really doing a great job with your vision, you're going to get lost and time is going to disappear. And you're going to look up and say, wow, what was I doing for the last half hour, 45 minutes, maybe even 2 hours, depending upon your lifestyle right now. And the last thing is I really need you to pay attention to the people who criticize and the people who support you. My hope is that the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast is at the top of your list for one of the places where you can go to get support, education, and information. And most importantly, it's always warm here. Well, this is Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor, saying, I don't want to hold you back. You have a lot of work to do, and I want to support you in getting to that next level and making your vision your reality. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.
You've been listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. While you're on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button, and you'll automatically receive our next episode.